Ladies and gentlemen, you have a person, a former intelligence chief, who is now urging and encouraging and telling current officials under President Obama's administration, Dan Coates and Gina Haspel and others, to stand up to the president when it comes to declassifying documents that the American people want to see. This is not only insubordination, I mean, he's not even in government anymore, but John Brennan is now saying that the intelligence community should stand up to President Trump. The intelligence community is part of the executive branch. Hillary Clinton, who's definitely going to run again, and I will be the only person in all of YouTube, and maybe in all of politics, in media or whatever, to tell you categorically she's running again. So just, save that in your memory banks when she does run. I told you. Think of it as, a friendly reminder not to be surprised or shocked or petrified or horrified. Embrace it. It's something we need as a country. It's the best thing that could ever happen to any Trump supporter. Madam Cyberhack running again. But anyway, I explained that a million times why it's wonderful. She'll lose to Trump. She'll take the Democratic Party with her. She'll expose the duplicity and hypocrisy and disingenuous nature of everyone on the left who lives. They all live to condemn. If you judge and you condemn without any empathy or compassion or forgiveness, even as if anyone should ask forgiveness of the left for anything, but when you live only to condemn, that is the foundation of, it really is the foundation of evil. If you just live to condemn others under the guise of doing good, you're actually the antithesis of good. But anyway, you'll hear John O'Brien in a second. The Constitution states that the president is the leader of the executive branch. You have to listen to Trump. Article 2, Section 1 of the Constitution states the executive power shall be vested in a President of the United States of America. The President not only heads the executive branch of the federal government, but is also the head of state and commander-in-chief of all the armed forces. The executive power shall be vested in a President of the United States of America. Article 2, Section 1. All right. Guess who's part of the executive branch? The Justice Department, the FBI, and John O'Brennan's former agency, all of them. So the executive power shall be vested in a President of the United States of America. He shall hold his office during a term of 4 years. Okay, so this is the Constitution. So this clause provided the title of the chief executive and defined the term of the office. Okay. President Trump runs the show in terms of what he can do regarding declassification. He can declassify documents. William Barr, he's been given the authority. And John Durham can ask William Barr to declassify anything he needs. Oh, I don't know, information regarding the FISA process, Peter Strzok's information, Lisa Page's, McCabe, Comey, Brennan, Clapper, all of them, Sally Yates. Why didn't Tricia Anderson sign off on the FISA application prior to McCabe, Yates, and James Baker, who's under criminal investigation along with Andrew McCabe? Tricia Anderson was the first person who should have looked at the FISA applications at the FBI. We need to find out this information. They're stonewalling and they're hiding behind. They want a complete, full Mueller report, which is all about why they declined to prosecute or indict Trump on anything. They said he worked with Russia to buy Facebook ads and hack the DNC. They're a bunch of liars. They have egg on their face again. They will lose again with Clinton, but this time she will take the entire Democratic Party down with her. This is the last time that media and Democrats will rally around Bubba Bill Clinton and my wife. Take my wife. You know that joke, your money or your life? Take my wife. This is the last time, ladies and gentlemen. This is the last time that you're going to see media beholden in such a profound manner to Bubba Bill and Hillary Clinton. I want to thank you very much for selling your soul to me. And don't worry, everything will be just fine. If you see somebody with a pitchfork behind me, that's just a figment of your imagination. You're looking at a Democratic Party that has jumped in bed with vipers, snakes, scorpions, serpents, just the most devious minds, the most corrupt, clandestine intelligence officials, and they do things surreptitiously in a clandestine manner. They're devious, they're conniving, they're manipulative, and they're everything that Deborah Wasserman Schultz loves. If you say a derogatory word about Deborah Wasserman, you'll have me to contend with. Bernard, Rico Suave Sanders. If Beto O'Dork can change his name, well, guess what? I'm changing mine to Rico Suave. But you have no right, whether you're John Brennan or anyone else, you have no right to tell Dan Coates and Gina Haspel or anybody else, oh, don't listen to, stand up to Trump. You have no right to do so. You have no right to do so. Not only do you not have any right to do so, but you're acting in not only an insubordinate manner, but one could say a potentially criminal manner. You're encouraging government officials to be insubordinate, and you're working with the media. So he said this on MSNBC, of course, and he said this, and you'll hear it in a second. He said this simply to ensure that the truth doesn't come out. That's the whole point here. He said this, he told people, hey, you know what? Don't listen to Trump. Why? Because stand up to him. You don't want Trump to put the country at risk. You don't want Trump to put the country in danger. But it's not for him to say. It's also not for him to try to convince anyone working in the U.S. government not to abide by Trump's authority as president. Now, they're not committing an illegal act. If this was to prevent them from committing an illegal act, I kind of could see it. But here he is. Check this out. Here he is. Okay. Oh, Lord. What is going on here? Why is that? What is going on here? Okay, hold on one second. Here, let's see. Okay, well, this is ridiculous. Oh my God. Why? All right, so let's just let's try to. Oh, okay, gotcha. I know what's going on. I know what's wrong now. Okay. All right. Oh, Lord. We're almost there.
For Dan Coates, I think he is trying to protect the men and women of the intelligence community. And what he says in there is that the intelligence community will provide the appropriate information. And I think that's critically important. What is that appropriate information? What is the basis for those requests? But I do hope that Dan Coates and Gina Haspel stand up to this effort by Mr. Trump, which really does seem to go into the sensitive files, the very sensitive, whether it be technical or human source files, and to pull out of that information that they may see fit as to defend Mr. Trump. So I implore Dan Coates, Gina Haspel, and others to stand up to this, I think, unprecedented act on the part of Mr. Trump, who doesn't understand nor care about the national security concerns of the intelligence community.
Look, national security concerns of the intelligence community, from the Gulf of Tonkin to Facebook ads, has consistently been off and wrong. They failed to predict. They failed to accurately assess time and again. So spare us the lecture. You don't know more than the average American generally. If you did, you would have saved this country from a whole lot of chaos and turmoil. Now you are pretending that Facebook ads and the DNC hack that informed the country that Bernie Sanders was cheated. You're pretending that that's a big issue. It's not. Most people don't care. It has nothing to do with saving lives. That's number one. Number two, the issue here is that John Brennan is saying that, these people should stand up to President Trump because there's just so much really important information that needs to be protected. From whom? The American people. The American people fund the intelligence community. The intelligence community works for the American people to protect the American people. So the point is, who is your most important concern? The intelligence community or the American people? Now, obviously, Democrats don't want this information. They just want the full Mueller report, unredacted and everything. Oh my God, we have to see every word. But they don't want information that would be detrimental to their side of the political divide. If it's information that would undermine the credibility or would show that criminal behavior from Comey, Clapper, Brennan, Strzok, McCabe, Sally Yates, James Baker, Lisa Page, all of them, the whole mishpacha. If it's any information that would lead to questions, lead to criminal behavior, lead to exactly why we engaged in over 2 years of this nonsense. They don't want that. They don't want the truth. What they want is they just simply want their fabricated investigation to continue to be swept under the rug. Well, it happened. See, they would be very, very happy with, it happened. There's nothing you can do about it, and let's just move on to numerous other investigations. Let's just move on to numerous other investigations where, let's move on to numerous other investigations wherein we just forget about the fact that they covered up Clinton's crimes and then went and fabricated crimes against Trump. They do not want, ladies and gentlemen, they do not want this president to function as a president. They don't want their criminal behavior to be out in the open. They don't want information declassified because to them, incriminating information is better kept secret. They will say that that any information, and already left-wing journalists and pundits and liberal pundits and whatever journalists, they've said, well, you're going to selectively declassify information to paint a picture. Good. Hey, if Barr declassifies information and you want more information declassified, you should push for it. If you think that there's more information to exonerate your 3-year, 4-year probe, because it started really in 2015, if you think that he'll only declassify what makes you look bad, media, Democrats, intel community, then push for more classification. Push for more context. Because let's see where the context and the reasoning and logic and rationale is behind utilizing a Steele dossier that was purchased by Clinton. How many people knew that it was purchased by Clinton? Both Brennan and Comey state they don't know. They never knew where the Steele dossier originated from. They didn't know that Clinton purchased the dossier. If you listen to James Comey, the buffoon, he even says that he doesn't know that who Uma Abedin's husband was. He's clueless. They're all clueless, yet we should listen to them because they know so much. How do you not know, if you're James Comey, who Uma Abedin's husband is? You literally found classified emails on his laptop along with his wife. That's why you wrote the Comey letter. You didn't know who Uma Abedin's husband was, James Comey. So it's like they engage in this duplicitous, you better believe us, we're so smart and we're privy to so much information. Then when they get caught, well, we didn't know. Well, Clinton didn't know that there would be classified intelligence coming to her, my God. We had no idea. They do this all the time. And they play this game, you better listen to us, we know a lot. And Democrats are interesting. Democrats are like, well, we're not only the party that polices words and thoughts and calls everyone deplorable and everyone racist and everyone misogynist and all that stuff, but we're also the really tough party that keeps you tough from Russian Facebook ads. Nobody cares, and nobody likes censorship. And they would do away with the Bill of Rights. First they wanted to erase the Second Amendment for a long time. Now they want to erase the First Amendment. It's like they don't like the freedoms that this country provides people. They just don't, because the more freedom you have, the worse off it is for the Democratic Party. You'll say things they don't like. You'll learn information they don't like. Oh my God, you can't declassify. That's crazy. Oh my God, you're saying the truth about Clinton? Oh no. What? Access Hollywood tape is great, perfectly timed before a debate. But you dump emails? You're gonna dump them? You're not going to publish them and report them the way the Access Hollywood tape showed, which is complete nonsense. But he admitted to assault. Great. Why isn't that used by Mueller? Oh, gee, that's why, because he didn't admit anything. They are so extreme in their thought process. It's not even a thought process. They're like a wounded animal cornered for the past 3 or 4 years, the Democratic Party. They're just clawing and scratching, and they'll do anything possible for power. Oh my God, Kavanaugh! We need FBI investigations. Well, the FBI dropped the ball there, but we have to trust Comey. Like there's no set value system they have. All they want to do is get in bed with the biggest snakes and vipers and serpents and scorpions and reptiles, and if those people can help them, they're cool with it. They're fine. They don't care. They ruined people's lives with the Mueller probe. They went after people, they set up people, they framed people. I explain in my 2 articles below, in the Federalist, my 2 latest articles, that Clapper knew there was no evidence of Trump Russia. That's why he actually put in the ODNI and DHS reports as warranty disclaimers stating, hey, yeah, they know that there's no evidence. It's just judgment. Judgment should not be confused with fact. It says that almost verbatim. There are confidence levels, no certainty. Only highly certain and almost certain. Not 100% certain. And John Brennan admitted himself under oath. He said, well, I don't do evidence, I do intelligence. So this is a Sarah Carter article. Poll, 98% say Brennan is obstructing justice by fighting declassification. And let's listen to him again. I mean, this guy is just something else. He is something else.
respect for Dan Coates. I think he is trying to protect the men and women of the intelligence community. And what he says in there is that the intelligence community will provide the appropriate information. And I think that's critically important. What is that appropriate information? What is the basis for those requests? But I do hope that Dan Coates and Gina Haspel stand up to this effort by Mr. Trump, which really does seem to go into the sensitive files, the very sensitive, whether it be technical or...
Oh my god, are they sensitive files? Oh no. Oh, we don't want to go into sensitive files. But what if those sensitive files show that Comey and Strzok and McCabe and Clapper had no reason to investigate Trump, and they were only doing so to undermine him and to oust a duly elected president and to, engage in an insurance policy, which is what Peter Strzok talked about with Andrew McCabe. What if those sensitive files have to do with proving that there was a cover-up with the Clinton email investigation and a fabricated hoax and a bogus, irrational Cold War McCarthy-era Red Scare investigation into Trump based on evidence purchased by Democrats? And the intelligence community knew all along, but they just utilized this evidence just to be malicious and to hurt Trump. Gosh. Don't you love, this is the same guy who says that Comey was pushing the Steele dossier, not him. This is the same guy after the Mueller probe says they're not going to go after anyone for obstruction. This is the same guy that says, I think I might have been given faulty information. The media and the intelligence community have joined forces, have unified with the left. And the people on the far left, and a lot of progressives too, they don't get it. They don't see it. They think that speaking like me is is blasphemy. They think that there are a lot of progressives who actually think that Bernie Sanders and Medicare for All and why haven't they voted on it? I thought you had progressive politicians now in the Democratic Party. Why isn't AOC pushing Medicare for All bill? Why doesn't AOC say, heaven forbid if someone sticks their hand in that contraption in my sink? I think it's something that Mitch McConnell drilled a hole in my sink. It's a garbage disposal. Oh, really? No. Okay. Well, Mitch McConnell poked a hole in my sink. They call it a garbage disposal. But anyway, I heard that if you stick your hand in it, it could really be bad for you. So that's why we need Medicare for All. Luckily, we have a House that's controlled by the Democratic Party. So we can just pass that through and have Trumpy veto the bill. No, they don't want that. They're not going to have Trumpy veto the bill. How about abolish ICE, $15 minimum wage? Oh, a resolution. Now they're all climate change. Oh, this is a real issue. Well, was it an issue when President Obama presided over the largest expansion of domestic oil production? What hypocrites. Hey, President Obama deported more human beings than any other president, presided over the largest expansion of oil and gas. And then they're like, well, what aboutism? Yeah, it is. What about... Democrats need to... That's hilarious. Even direct rebuttals to their nonsense, they create these euphemisms, and that's called whataboutism. Yeah, it is. It's what about Obama? You can't bring up Obama. You can't bring up the fact that he presided over the largest expansion of domestic oil production and gas production. Yeah, that undermines your point. Imbeciles. You're saying that climate change is going, we need to act on it quick because the end of the world is coming. But you had 8 years where you stood silent and did nothing. Well, we weren't silent. You weren't as vocal as you are now. That shows you're a bunch of hypocrites. And then they fall back on, well, we oppose Obama too. Like, no, you don't. No, you don't. You say one thing and then you'll focus your entire life on the orange Cheeto monster. I mean, it's a game they play. They just want to be morally superior, and they're not. They're actually morally inferior, because their goal is not to make the world better. Their goal is to make themselves feel better. Big difference. Big difference. They think that if they can demean and insult and mock and degrade and disparage people that they're doing so for justice. No. First and foremost, they're doing so mainly for themselves. That's why when you bring up the fact that their moral foundation is predicated upon President Obama engaging in far worse behavior than Trump, well, he took us out of the Paris Accords. Yeah. But your side presided over the largest expansion of domestic oil and gas production, largest expansion of fossil fuel drilling and production on U.S. soil. So doesn't that kind of undermine your moral credibility when it comes to judging people on the topic of climate change? They don't get it. They don't even understand what that... They don't get it. They're like the most petulant, foolish imbeciles on the planet. And they also don't see that all of this is for Clinton. It's all for me. I just want to tell you I love everything you're doing for me. Thank you. And you're working for me even though you don't know that you're working for me. You might think that you're opposing us. Yeah, right. You just tell people to vote for us in swing states and, you know what, pretend you don't like us, but devote 99.9998% of your time hating Orange Monster. The Orange Monster, by the way, that hung out with me and went golfing with me. It was fantastic. Real fun. Great guy. They don't get how the left doesn't get also how, like, not only like joining forces or a lot, forming this union and alliance with intelligence officials. They don't see how it's actually very counterproductive. Extremely counterproductive. You think intelligence officials want Medicare for all? Which, first of all, Democrats don't even think is feasible. You think intelligence officials want their budgets cut to ensure that Medicare for all takes place? Of course not. And then now Clinton is kind of like, straddling the fence, even though not long ago she said it's impossible. That's like one of the few things she actually said that was actually, she told the truth there. She was like, no, you'll never have Medicare for all. And the reason I'm bringing it up, it would be a good thing if it was possible. But it's not possible. It's not possible because you'd have to double to triple tax collection according to the Mercatus study. But then if people say like, well, you know what? You don't know what you're talking about. It is possible. Then why haven't they voted on it? Why am I focusing on this point? Because this is all a scorched earth policy to ensure Hillary runs again and wins. To ensure Hillary can win after running again. She's going to run again. She has until November. She can take her sweet time. She started actually campaigning for 2020 even before the 2016 election with a Steele dossier. She knew she had two elections, ladies and gentlemen. She's younger than Trump, Biden, and Bernie. This is an election with people in their mid-70s to late 70s. She's in her early 70s. She's younger than all of them. She knew that. They all planned for this. She lost 2016, and she was probably thinking, look, in the event I lose, I'm not going to lose. Then the Chardonnay went flying. Then the song Pass the Crevassier. Then she threw the Crevassier like Nolan Ryan. Oh my God. She threw the heater at me. I was a good about 73 miles per hour. But I'm talking about with the Crevassier flying like that. With the spin. It was a sinker that, it was just horrible. This new cutter. You can't hit it. It's impossible. Crevassier. Oh, the horror. Anyway. Just run already. Why are you waiting? Nobody will be happier for Madam Cyberhack and Hillary Clinton than me. No, I will be the happiest person on planet Earth when Hillary Clinton runs. Because it'll vindicate everything that I've ever said about a whole lot of things, especially Madam Cyberhack. and the Democratic Party. Give me your thoughts below. Check out my writing in the Federalist, the Daily Caller, the Jerusalem Post below. If you want to support my voice long term, my Patreon is below in the pinned comment. And to all the veterans and to all any active duty soldiers and to every American watching, happy Memorial Day. To the veterans and soldiers, God bless you and thank you for everything. And God bless your families. Thank you, everybody. I'll be back later today, numerous times.